Here in New Jersey, we have incredible Greek diners that are famous for having menus that are as thick as telephone books. They have everything you could possibly imagine on them. But one of my favorite things to order at a Greek diner is the classic gyro sandwich. And yes, I know that some people call them Euros and some people call them Gyros, but I'm gonna call them gyros here on Camp Griddle More, and we are gonna make our camping version of that Greek classic. So let's get camping and let's get cooking. We are mooch docking for the weekend on our friend's property, and we just finished setting up camp and we are hungry. So let's get our veggies prepped and start our cook. First, let's start by giving our tomato a quick rinse, and then we're gonna cut it into very thin slices for our gyro sandwiches. After that, we'll slice up our red onion, which I really love on my gyro. If you don't love it on your gyro, then don't use it. And then I'm gonna use up some shredded lettuce that I brought from home, that we had at home. And after that, we're gonna slice up our lemon, and the lemon is the secret weapon here. Squeezing a little fresh lemon onto your gyro as the very last step is gonna really increase the flavor and the brightness and the acidity of your gyro. It's really gonna take it over the top. One of my favorite new accessories are these Blackstone burger baskets with basket liners, and we're gonna use them today to give our gyros a really nice restaurant style presentation, or as Sean would say, they have like a beach shack kind of feel, as if you were eating a meal at the beach. The gyro meat is gonna heat up really, really fast, about 20 seconds per side. So let's get everything as prepped as we possibly can before we put the meat on the griddle. Let's even put our multi-grain pita chips down with a little side of tzatziki sauce, and that'll help us also weigh down that wax paper on those burger baskets. Let's fire up our griddle to medium heat so that we can put down a little bit of olive oil and warm up our pita bread. You don't need a whole lot of olive oil here. A little will go a long way. We're gonna get the pita bread ready to go, put it into our baskets. Let's get the tzatziki sauce on the pita bread and get all of our veggies ready to go, so that the last thing we do is to add the gyro meat and put a squeeze of lemon on it, and then it is going to be perfection. The pre-cooked gyro meat is going to be really tender and it's going to break apart really easily. So when you pull it apart, do it very slowly and very carefully. You have to remember to flip that gyro meat pretty quickly. It's going to heat up really fast, 20 to 30 seconds per side. And these Blackstone camping griddles get really hot really fast. So I'm on medium heat right now, and this is cooking up really quickly. It's been about 30 seconds on each side and the meat is looking good, so let's put it onto the pita bread. We are almost ready to eat. We can't forget the feta. You can't forget the feta. It is not a gyro if you forget the feta. The last time I made these gyros at home, my wife Stephanie asked me to add a squeeze of fresh lemon on them, and it totally elevated my gyro game. Lemon every time for me from now on. Using the tinfoil sheets is not a necessity, but it does make them a little bit easier to eat, especially if you have little kids at the campground with you. All right, we have our gyro completely assembled, so let's take a bite and see how it is. I absolutely love the acidity of the lemon, the saltiness of that feta cheese, and the tenderness of that gyro meat. This came out incredibly well, pretty quick, pretty easy, a great lunch or dinner at the campground. Of course, always want to be careful not to bite into the tin foil, particularly if you are feeding little kids at the campground.
Or if you're just really hungry.
Or if you're really hungry. It also is really nice to have that ramekin of the tzatziki sauce on the side for dipping. I put it there for the pita chips, but it also works really well to dip the gyro sandwich into it to get a little bit of extra sauce. Whether you call them gyros or euros or gyros, they are absolutely delicious, and they're a great meal to make at the campground on the Blackstone camping griddles. I think we did justice and we did honor to those classic Greek New Jersey diners. I hope you try this at the campground too next time you go. So let me know in the comments below. Have you ever made gyros before at the campground, or are you excited to try them next time you go? And hopefully we see you there at the campground. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Camp Griddle More.